What's going on, y'all? Today we are talking about the Armasight 640 thermal, this badass thermal that's sitting right here in front of me. But before we jump into that, guys, let's take a quick second and thank Armasight directly. They did send us this contractor as well as a set of BNVD night vision to us here at GunMade to review, and we had a great time reviewing these products over the last 3 months. So big shout out to them, guys. Go check them out on all their social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, as well as their website at armasight.com. But let's dig into this, guys. This thermal right here is a 640 3x12 with a 50 millimeter objective lens here. So really awesome thermal right here in front of us, guys. And first things first, the mounting system is pretty dang incredible. This thing is slightly adjustable, so you have 3 spots here on the bottom of this mount that you could actually adjust into the contractor itself to give you a little bit more or less eye relief depending on how you want this thing set up. But one thing I thought was really cool was the way that this thing operates. It's a very slick design, and all you do is simply push on this front button here, and that gives enough space to release off the Picatinny. I was a little skeptical at first because of how simple this was, but this thing locks dead on. We shot 5.56, 300 blackout, as well as 22 on this with absolutely no problem. So very sturdy mount. This mount is from Kinetic Development Group, so you know that you're getting a very, very solid locking system whenever you put this on whatever platform you decide. Jumping into the contractor itself, though, guys, this is a pretty beefy thermal here. This thing is pretty dang heavy, coming in at almost about 2 pounds. And this thing is very rugged and durable and meant to be abused. So when we look at this thing, number one, you do notice that you have a Picatinny rail here on the side. That way you could quickly add a illuminator that they sent out with this kit, the light, laser, or anything of your choice, maybe even a red dot if you wanted to completely get your rifle sideways and use it for a quick access like that. But very cool that it already has that built into the housing itself. And right here on this side, guys, this is going to be your media outlet. So this is your USB-C. This is how you transfer files to your computer. Now, the issue with that is they have a glitch in this system currently. We were aware of that before we even started this review, so they did let us know that they are working on that. But as of now, 3 months in, there has not been a fix for this little issue that they're having. Basically, you can only record up to 4 gigabytes, and then anything after that is stuck on the device itself and will not transfer into a viewable format onto your system or your computer or anything like that. So that is kind of aggravating. I had several videos that were very, very good quality videos that were not able to be uploaded, nor can I go into the app and connect and then download them from that. So I am pretty much stuck with those images directly on this device. And I can go into preview mode and I can view those. And the only thing I could think to do was to get the scope to phone mount that we use for some night vision recording, put it on this, and actually try to get a good video recording those few files. So I really hope Armasight does figure that part out soon, because I think a lot of the purpose that is with these thermals, there's a lot of guys that have thermals that aren't recording and posting it, but there is a ton of people who are. Not being able to record that stuff is definitely going to be an issue in the long run, and I hope that is something that they can figure out pretty quickly here. One other option was to connect to the app, which was very simple to use. I will give them that. They do have a good interface on that app itself, and actually just screen record what you were recording on the device. That way you actually have a hard copy on your phone or whatever that you were using. That is absolutely my suggestion right now if you were using this, unless by the time you see this video that they have actually fixed that software and have provided an update for you guys to use. But not being able to record more than 4 gigabytes, I am having a pretty big issue with that. So just for example, and then we'll move on from this, last night I tried to get a couple of clips, just really good quality, in my backyard with the dog and the cat, just so that I could show you guys the differences in the settings and the presets on this. That was one thing I forgot to get on the range, and I thought, well, this is a good setting out back. It's a pretty clear night, so you guys could tell pretty well. Came in, I knew the device was completely cleared off before, so there was no way I had used 4 gigabytes of what they're suggesting being taken up on the device. In fact, I looked at the one file that uploaded it, it was 105 megabytes. So the other 3 videos that had the great quality footage of changing between the color palettes and those presets was stuck on the device and not able to be transferred to my computer. So one last kind of like aggravating moment with that last night and this morning before I finished up this video, and it is just something that it absolutely needs to be addressed and needs to be fixed. But other than that, guys, you have a ton of different options and settings on here. You can connect to Wi-Fi and connect to their app. Their app is very easy to use, and I think you guys won't have any issue connecting to that. And there is just absolutely every little setting and possible adjustment that you could think of on this thing. So from contrast to brightness to enhancements and all that stuff, everything can be found in this menu, as well as being able to quickly change from your color palettes to your actual presets when it comes to modes as well. So when we look at the thermal here, guys, you have 4 different options. You have the turret here. This is the one that controls majority of your settings. You have the on-off switch, and you have the right side turret over here. Right behind that, you do have your record on and off button. Very easy to push button, very durable, and will turn on and off pretty much every time you touch it. The turnstile on and off, guys, simply push it in and turn it to the right. One thing we did have happen within about a week and a half, we had the turnstile break and then the cap was popping off. I could still put that cap on and turn it and adjust it, but there was simply a connection or a retaining issue with that, almost like a pin had broke off. We sent this to Armasight, had it back in our hands within a week. So as far as that goes, customer service and warranty service at Armasight is top notch for the experience that we had. But, you know, very aggressive and rugged controls, so there's no way you can miss it, especially with your focus on the front and the back here. And you guys have a very kind of waterproof and sealed battery compartment here on the left side. This battery compartment is CR123, and there is 2 of them, and they even kind of have it labeled on the inside here so that you know which direction that it is going to go. They do claim that this thing will run 4 hours at 20 degrees Celsius. I will say we definitely had some battery draining issues with this thing. I have recently purchased some rechargeable CR123s, and that was kind of nice to have because I could simply come back. They don't take very long to charge back up, and I was able to quickly swap between those if I needed to. Now, it does have a battery low indicator. It's going to let you know and alert you when that battery is starting to die. So if you wanted at that moment, if you have that moment to go ahead and change them out, you can, or know that it's going to be coming up in the next few minutes, and that's something that you need to be aware of. But, you know, that's a pretty awesome little setting and alert built into this system. I think Armasight has done a good job of trying to cover almost everything that they can when it came to this thermal. When we're talking about the turret system, guys, the left turret here is what controls swapping between your color palettes and your preset modes. If you are on, let's say, the color palette option up in the top left there, you would simply just twist this knob to switch in between those color palettes. If you press the button once, that'll bring you over to your preset modes, and then you can simply turn the turret at that point to swap between those. If you hold the button in, this will bring up a settings menu, which has your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth settings, your enhancements, and all your different image settings like brightness, contrast, and all that good stuff. So everything that is going to be kind of fine-tuning the image to your liking is going to be on this side, as well as your streaming and color palettes and that stuff. When we swap over to the right side here, guys, this is normally your digital zoom. So if you're not into any mode, or into the menu settings, all you're going to do is twist this knob. That is going to be your digital zoom. And this thing goes all the way up from 3 to 12 times. So you have several different zoom settings in here, and it held pretty good quality for the most part while we were zooming in. Now, if you hold this button, this is what's going to bring in your zeroing and your reticle customization. So you have 8 different reticle options as well as different colors and all that kind of like fine stuff to choose from. So you're able to get this set up exactly the way you want here, guys. So plenty of options for you, plenty of ways to customize, get that exactly the way that you want to see it on your video, exactly to your liking. So big shout out to them on that, guys. And it may take a couple of minutes to get used to how the controls work and everything, but once you get used to it, it works pretty dang smooth. So, overall great thermal, guys. This thing had great quality, great visibility, was able to tell everything very, very well on the range, and I really enjoyed having this thing for the amount of time that we did. When we get into comparisons, I believe this thing absolutely was probably the top dog of what we had in the past few months. There are some other comparable options out there as well, guys. So when we start talking about the price tag on this is MSRP at $57.99. So we are getting quite a bit up there in the price tag. But if you are looking at other comparable models, you are looking at somewhat in the price range of like Trigicons and Pulsars and stuff like that. So you are definitely up in the higher end group with this thermal. And I believe Armasight has done a very good job of bringing a pretty rugged and durable thermal out to the market. Now, if we could just get that recorded stuff figured out, I'll be a happy man, but we got to point out those flaws where we see them, guys. Big props to Armasight for letting us know ahead of time that, hey, this is an issue we're experiencing and we haven't been able to fix this on the software update side yet. So they were very much communicative and upfront about that. So that is not something that we could be too picky about, especially when they told us that it was going to happen. But yeah, guys, that's it from us here at GunMade. Let us know what you think of this 640 thermal contractor down below. Do you guys have one? Do you have any other Armasight products? We would love to hear your guys' feedback and experience on these things. And we know Armasight is kind of going through the middle of a rebrand here. So having them kind of definitely put that extra foot forward in the effort status when it comes to putting good and solid products out on the market, it's nice to see, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for Armasight for sure. But like I said, that's it, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, and as always, we will see you in the next video.